Good morning. Good morning. Just get what I've got here. So this morning, I thought I'd talk a little bit about different aspects of our practice. As some of you know, I've been working on a new website for Ocean Gate, which has been a very interesting process. One that has allowed me to reflect on a number of aspects of our practice and our community, how we express our welcome, a welcome that doesn't pose an us, that's welcoming an other. There is no other. But also we need to recognize and affirm the uniqueness of each person. What is important to communicate about our practice, and what's the best way to do it? How to describe the mystery and beauty of our practice without putting it in a little tidy package that feeds into our acquiring minds. How to invite people to investigate it for themselves, invite us to investigate it for ourselves, and make a clear, deep, strong investigation, one that brings up important questions that are welcome in our practice, in fact, central to our practice. Who are we? What is particular about Ocean Gate? How are we structured? What do we grow so that we can sustain this place? How do we handle inevitable changes and allow them to take shape in a way that supports the continuation of this place, of our practice, of the Dharma? So these questions and many more have been a part of the process. I kind of didn't know that when I started working on the website, that it was gonna like evoke all these considerations and thoughts. Been quite interesting, and I hope to share some of that when the website, Shinchi says, when the website goes live, we should have a party. Share it with everyone. I think that's a great idea. And then have a discussion about some of these things. But today I thought I'd share with you some thoughts I put together about how we live our practice day to day, and how our homes can be a foundation for the practice and what supports it. Practicing together in community is a rich and vital part of the Soto Zen way. Formal practices such as sitting zazen together, chanting, rituals and ceremonies. We've started doing sutra copying, which is just like a wonderful practice. We copy the sutra and then dedicate it to some person, some aspect of our world. Dharma talks, study, as well as informal gatherings and caring for our center and each other. So all of this in-person dimension. And for those of you that can't make it in person, coming on Zoom, These are all really important dimensions. But it's also important to remember that our practice is not limited to the Zendo. Every aspect of our lives is a field of practice, a place and a time for us to recall ourselves to what is most central to us, to live out each moment, our whole life, and everything we do as a reflection and an actualization of our intention to follow the Buddha way. So for this reason, in our day-to-day lives, we find ways to support and encourage ourselves generously to enter each activity with the spirit of practice. So we pause for a moment and think of all the things we do in a day. Waking up in the morning, starting our day, going to work or school or other activity that takes you into the wider world, interacting with and caring for the central people in your life, as well as each person you encounter, each being you encounter, caring for your body, for your heart, for your mind, for your spirit, tending to the community, to the environment, resting from your activities, going to sleep. Each of these and many more are an opportunity, a path of practice, a way to grow and give and realize the truth of our life together. To thoughtfully engage in them is an essential aspect of a full and rich life of practice. It transforms our lives when we do this. It transforms them into something deeper, more meaningful, more alive to what matters most. So I thought I'd present to you today a few practices for you to consider to craft or continue to craft a life of practice that includes the whole of you and everyone and everything else. Okay? You with me? Okay. So first of all, silence and quiet. Taking time to be quiet, taking time to be silent is essential. Even if it's for a few moments, sitting quietly, simply settled into your being. This is a place of refuge, a place of nourishment, a place of return. Taking a walk in a park or a garden, having a quiet cup of tea. It's really wonderful to have quiet and calm environment. But we can take time for inner quiet anywhere. Personal reflection. Taking the time to honestly reflect on our lives, the choices we're making, the habits we're building or sustaining, the way we go about our days and our interactions with others. This kind of personal reflection allows us to engage deeply with what actually is in our lives and move forward in a way that supports what we value most. You can do this in many ways. Taking a walk, thinking about things, journaling, whatever, talking to someone. Another important part is study. Setting aside time and place to engage thoughtfully with the teachings deepens our understanding and our connection to what guides us. It nourishes us. It invites wisdom to enter our being. As I said before, Saint Benedict said, you should eat the teachings so much that when you burp the teachings. It becomes a part of our flesh and bones. It's part of who we are. And this doesn't need to be, a lot of academic study. It can be just taking up a paragraph of something simple, a few words that you consider. Cooking and eating. All the food we eat is brought to us by innumerable labors, by innumerable beings. To acknowledge that with gratitude brings care into our relationship with food, with what we eat, with how we eat it, with how we're nourished. Recognizing this with gratitude, recognizing all we're given with gratitude when we enjoy our food changes how we relate to what we eat and how we eat it. So here's one that some of us might not think about. Wait 1 second. Thank you, Keegan. Cleaning. How about cleaning? Each aspect of our world, according to our teachings, is valued as itself. Not merely for what it can do for us, but just the fact that it is. It is giving something to us by its very existence. But it's not about how it's useful. So, according to our practice, we treat every aspect of our world with respect. Every aspect. When we clean, we are expressing that respect in a way that we care for our homes, for our workplaces, for every aspect of us. Yeah. So to clean thoughtfully is a way of expressing our understanding. What we buy. Mindless consumption corrodes our lives and our spirits. This is not about aiming towards perfect purity, but we take care with what we purchase, aware of where it comes from, if we can, and the impact of our actions. We respect each thing, give it a full life, with gratitude for what it is and how it supports our world. And then there's work. In Soto Zen, work is considered an essential aspect of a life of practice. We engage with work fully and value what we do completely. Growing or harvesting plants, driving a bus, caring for people or animals, teaching children or adults, working in a grocery store, making maps, hauling what we generally refer to as garbage or trash, building, repairing, writing, all the ways that we work, all the ways that we care for our world, all the ways that we engage. These are all considered a dimension of practice. We make the best choices we can in terms of livelihood. Many, many people have no choice in terms of livelihood. We make it the best we can. We make it a field of practice by focusing on what we can do day by day to make it so. Awareness, kindness, attention, connection, all of those and more ripple out in a positive effect. Shinshu and I lived in San Francisco for many years, and I always thought Bodhisattva bus driver in San Francisco would have the most profound impact on so many people. just every person that gets on the bus. And if you've ridden buses in San Francisco, you know that there's lots of different kind of people that get on a bus. Every person greeted with respect and kindness. Can you imagine? That's a lot of people. So it doesn't have to be some big exalted thing that we're doing. It has to do with the spirit with which we do it. Another dimension that is, a challenge for many of us is media, social media, cell phones. We're aware of the gifts and benefits, as well as the corrosive, seductive draw of social media and other aspects of our connected world. We're thoughtful about our choices. How much, where, when, with whom, how we use them. So these are just some of the practices, the dimensions of our life. And there are many concrete ways that we can bring into our daily lives a support for the way of living that we most want. So here's just a few. We can memorize or carry with us lines from a teaching. Memorize something. I used to put things up with Post-it notes in my car when I was commuting a lot. Just to remind me. Or carry something in your wallet. Write it on your hand. If you want something permanently, you can tattoo it on yourself, right? An image, something, whatever. Something to, yes, this is it. Before you start work, you could say something like, and this is from Dogen, the way-seeking mind of the Tenzo, the head cook, is actualized by rolling up their sleeves. So that breaks up in the idea of like, oh, we have to be sitting in Zazen with special clothes on, or no, our way-seeking mind is actualized by rolling up our sleeves. When you hear about or see suffering, you could say something like, may all beings be free from suffering and the root of suffering. Before you begin a project or take up an activity, you can start with a simple act of dedication. Something like, may my efforts be of benefit to many beings. Before you enter a meeting at work that might be challenging, or visit family when your political beliefs might be tweaked. You could say something like, may I open my mind to what's here, respect all others, remain calm and aware of my deepest intention in this life. Maybe that's too long. Something, right? When you walk down the street, seeing each person as a respected part of the whole of our world. You can find or create sayings or images that bring you back to your deepest wish for your life and the lives of others. Thich Nhat Hanh has written many small verses that are called gathas. And I brought a few with me. You can find these online. He has books of them. And some people are drawn to Thich Nhat Hanh's gathas, and some people are most definitely not. So take what works for you. So he says, waking up in the morning, I smile. 24 brand new hours before me. I vow to live in each moment and look to all beings with eyes of compassion. Okay, so you wake up in the morning. What do you do first thing? Do you grumble about your aching knees, or that you have to go to work? Or do you start your day with gasho, or some indication of gratitude? Opening the window, I look out into the Dharmakaya, which is the Buddha field, so to speak. How wondrous is life. Attentive to each moment, my mind is clear like a calm river. Washing your feet. The peace and joy of one toe is peace and joy for my whole body. Washing your hands. Water flows over these hands. May I use them skillfully to preserve our precious planet. Serving food. In this food, I see clearly the entire universe supporting my existence. At the end of the day, the day is ending and our life is one day shorter. Let us look carefully at what we have done. Let us practice diligently, putting our whole heart in the path of meditation. Let us live deeply each moment and in freedom, so time doesn't slip away meaninglessly. You can just simply say, I'm grateful for this day. May I sleep well with all beings. Using the telephone. Words can travel thousands of miles. May my words create mutual understanding and love. May they be as beautiful as gems, as lovely as flowers. So there are many more, and you can either use them or make up your own. Another source of sayings that I've studied myself is the Mahayana teachings of the 7-point mind training, also known as the Lojong sayings. These are a Tibetan Buddhist practice. And they can be quite hardcore. But I'll just give you a few. Be grateful to everyone. That's easy, right? Change your attitude, but remain natural. Always have the support of a joyful mind. Don't wait in ambush. I love this one. Don't ambush somebody. Whichever of the two occurs, be patient, meaning no matter what happens, practice patience. Let's see. Don't be temperamental. Okay. So the idea is here to find or create things that that are totally portable, that can help you in your day, that you see your activities, all of your activities as a Buddha field, as an opportunity to wake up, to be clear, and to grow. So I want to say a few words now about home practice. So our homes, if we are lucky enough to have homes, offer us a place to establish a base for practice that transforms our lives, our relationships, our world. It supports us to bring a spirit of wisdom and compassion into our everyday activities. It's like a home base, right? In our homes, we ground ourselves. And from that, we enter the complexities of our lives with fresh eyes and an open mind and heart. if we do not have a home or a steady home where or a steady home that's not conflicted, a place where we feel safe, if we do not have that, then we look for a place that will allow us to be grounded and to find this orientation. Okay? So there are many, many ways to build a home practice, including zazen at home, offering incense, herbs, or flowers at a home altar, chanting, bowing, reciting silently or aloud a verse of gratitude before meals, for example, or other short verses related to our ordinary activities, as I just discussed, attending to how we care for our homes, our food, our bodies, our belongings, and our wider environment. So in terms of zazen, joining us at the Zendo for zazen instruction provides an excellent introduction to the practice of zazen. And all of our schedule periods of zazen, as those of you on Zoom know, are offered on Zoom for those of you who cannot come in person to the Zendo. So it's like a bridge, right? Zoom's like a bridge. So we have these periods of zazen where we come together in the temple and we're here and we offer incense and we do all this. And then via the magic of Zoom, you're with us here. And at the end of every period of zazen, we always turn the computer around and say hello to anybody that's on Zoom. So you're with us here. You're most welcome. So to begin at home, find a place at home, a room, a corner, or any space that you can spend some time uninterrupted and quiet in meditation every day, ideally. A place where you will not be distracted by electronics or other demands for your attention. Turn off your phone. Honor this space and yourself by keeping it clean and tidy, and if possible, devoted just to zazen practice. However, what is most important is to work with what you have and make the most of it. No place is perfect. Dealing with unavoidable distractions, both outer and inner, are a part of the practice. Yesterday morning, they were working on the roof. And I showed up and the roofer guy was out here. And he said, do you work here? And I said, well, we have a Zendo here. And he said, well, I'm going to be working on the roof this morning. And I said, oh yeah, Philip, the property manager, let us know. I said, it's fine. He said, yeah, distractions are a part of meditation practice. I said, I kind of punched him in the shoulder. I was like, you bet, you bet. So they were clomping around up on the roof. It wasn't too bad, actually. It wasn't bad at all. I said, but are you working tomorrow? He said, no, just today. So there's always something, at Tassajara, there would be the, chump, 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 chump of the raccoons or across the roof, or, there's always something. So we do what we can, but we work with what we have. It's best to develop a schedule and keep at it, unless there are truly urgent demands that you need to meet. So be sane, be balanced and kind when you decide a schedule and the length of time you set. It's best to sit for shorter periods of time regularly, and then longer, less frequent periods. But again, work with your circumstances and kindly return again and again and again to your intention. When and how long you sit will depend on your schedule, your work schedule, your relational life, and many other factors. So this is a reflection of our interconnected lives. It's not a problem. It's a condition of your life. So develop a plan, see how it goes, adapt if needed, and things change. So you might start out sitting for 10 minutes, and then you think, I'm doing okay with this. I think I'll extend it. Or one day you can sit for 10 minutes, and another day you have more space in your life and you can sit for a half an hour. Or maybe your work schedule takes you to work at 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays is not a day. Maybe you feel more settled in the evening. So you experiment. See what happens. When you decide on a place and a time, sit down and meditate. Just do it. It's not going to be perfect with everything in order. Just do it. Even if you squirm around or feel that you're getting nowhere, please just sit down and kindly and steadily stay on your cushion or your chair or your bench. If after you've completed your session, you decide it's too long, then cut it back. If you feel like you can go longer, go longer. Find what works and then settle on it. When we end a period of Zazen, we dedicate the time and effort we have given to it to the benefit of all beings. So this is a simple act of dedication that reminds us of our intimate connection with all that exists. Once we become settled, it's quite possible to practice Zazen anywhere, anytime, that you can safely pull your attention into your body, attend in a broad and open way, and simply be, breathe, return to your intention. Allow life to be what it is. I would not recommend this while you're driving on the freeway. But say you're riding on a bus, you're in a park, you're taking a break at work, you're in a hospital corridor, totally portable. You can sit cross-legged on a cushion on the floor, on a low bench, with your feet folded under you in a chair. Find what works for you and then do it. At home, you can also do a chanting practice. So you might recite silently, quietly, or aloud, or alone with others, a verse, a sutra, a Buddhist chant of some kind that has particular meaning for you or those you're with. So chants are often done on their own, before, after you sit Zazen, before a meal. It can be done in any situation. So our chant book is here, has the chants that we use regularly. There's many others. When you finish the chanting, again, you dedicate this effort, this activity, for the benefit of all beings. So you might say something like, having chanted the Heart Sutra, for example, may the merit of this recitation benefit all. Or you can just stop and express that you hope this effort benefits. You can create your own dedication. You can dedicate it to a particular person, to those suffering from the climate crisis, war, anything. So bowing is another practice. So the simplest way is to bring your hands in gasho like this, palm to palm, and simply lean forward. When you do this, you're attending to the truth and beauty of the other and yourself. In bowing, we step outside our usual thoughts and judgments and simply join with others in a sacred reality. At the monastery, every person you pass, you stop, you put your hands together, and you bow. It doesn't matter whether you just left a very cranky meeting with them or not. It doesn't matter whether they're your best friend. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. You do the same gesture for everyone. There's bowing can also be a quiet, invisible practice that you can do anywhere. Simply the thought of bowing can transform the situation. So you may not want to do this. You may just want to do something bodily or in your heart and mind. You can do this anywhere, anytime. You can do it to a rock, a tree, a pet, your oatmeal bowl, anything. We also do the formal bow like you saw me do here, where we drop down, kneel, touch our hands to the floor, raise our hands above our heads like this, come back and stand back up again. This is a bodily practice that is very powerful. In your home, you can create a home altar. This is a traditional practice. It provides a focus and a home base for your practice at home. It calls us back to our true nature, our awakened mind and heart. A Soto Zen altar includes a Buddha image, see, like that, up there, a candle, or, and you have to be really careful with flames, right? Living in a place with no electricity, we learned to be very, very careful with flames. So if you think you're going to leave it lit, if you have any doubt at all, get yourself a tidy little LED candle. They're fine. Okay. A bowl or a dish to burn incense or offer herbs or flower petals. We use lavender here. You could use sage. You could, if you have some little green leaves from your garden. And a small vase with flowers or greens. Some people include a bell and a striker, or a mala, one of those little, that you can hold when you're chanting. You can also include pictures of deceased loved ones, significant people or places or objects in your world. This should be personal to you, to your family, to your circumstance. So offer incense, herbs, flowers, chanting, bowing at our altar aligns us. It's like aligns us with what is most sacred to us, what we care about. And you can also, one practice is if someone gives you a gift, you can put it on the altar first and then receive it. Or when you have food, when you eat, you might take a dish and put a little food on it and offer it. So all of these things creatively give you a chance of interacting in your home in a deep way with the practice. One final thing I want to mention is practice in relationships. This is particularly meaningful and perhaps challenging maybe especially in these times of divisiveness, we want to bring a spirit of practice to our relationships, to listen, to remain calm, even in distressing circumstances, to speak carefully, kindly, and directly, to maintain others, awareness of others, to maintain your own desire to be aligned with your intention. So all of these ways open us to ways to deepen our practice, make it real for us, bring it into contact with our own personal lives, and support the spirit of practice in our own lives and in our world. Thank you very much.